The next important topic in the parent rails, that is nothing but a freeze drying. Generally, why we are performing this freeze drying? Freeze drying is nothing but a conversion of liquid formulation to the solid formulation. Conversion of liquid formulation to the solid formulation. So, first the question, why? Why it is required? The conversion of liquid formulation to the solid formulation. Generally, microorganisms, they will grow in the liquid, that is nothing but water. Major microorganisms, they will live in the water. Okay, that's why the shelf life T90% of this particular liquid formulations, around 1 year it will be there, right? To improve the shelf life to the more than 1 year, for example, here the solid formulation, it is more than 3 years shelf life is there, because here the water will not present in the solid formulation. So microorganisms growth will not takes place mostly, and water is not there. Hydrolysis is also not possible mostly in this solid formulation. So to avoid hydrolysis of the drug substance and to improve the shelf life, we can convert this liquid formulation to the solid formulation. Okay, how we can convert this liquid formulation to solid formulation? By freeze drying. Okay, I will show one example. So see here, this is the powder. So how we converted this powder? By using the freeze drying method, we converted one liquid formulation we converted to the solid formulation. Okay, the conversion of this liquid to the solid, the conversion of this liquid to the solid. Okay, the conversion of this liquid to the solid. So this is the liquid formulation where most of the microorganisms growth is possible in this. So the shelf life of this formulation is only 1 year, and I converted this particular liquid formulation to the solid formulation. Here no water present in this, it is only powder, right? So here shelf life is more, and there is no water, no hydrolysis takes place. Okay, so that's why we need to convert this liquid formulation to the solid formulation to improve the shelf life and to avoid the hydrolysis, Okay, and now one more important point, freeze drying. When we will use freeze drying, the application of freeze drying for drying of proteins and biological products as well as blood products. Right, so these biological products and blood products, proteins, they have particular conformations. Okay, they have particular conformations. Okay, they will exist in particular conformation. Okay, this is the quaternary structure of the protein. If the conformation it should be like this, then only it can function, its potency will be present in this conformation only. So to dry these particular proteins and biological products, if we will use the drying, means by applying heat, okay, more than 30 degrees, more than 40 degrees, the conformation, see here the conformation of this particular conformation, if it is changed to this kind of conformation, so the conformation now it is changed. So in this changed conformation, the potency of this particular protein will lose. So why this conformation is changing? Because of the heat, because the proteins are very heat sensitive. Okay, to dry the proteins, biological products as well as blood products, we will opt freeze drying method, and we need to improve the shelf life by using this freeze drying method. So this much of importance is there for the freeze drying method. Okay, what are the other names of this freeze drying? Lyophilization and gelsification are other names of the lyophilization. So generally, if you take a ice cube from the fridge, right, place on particular table, you place this ice on particular table. So this solid, if you keep on table, it will converted after some time, it will convert it to the liquid. Okay, the solid ice which is converted to the liquid. So this is nothing but a melting. right? This should not happen. Melting should not happen. So the solid directly converted, our intention is the solid that directly converted to the gas, not a liquid. The solid that converted to the gas without converting to the liquid. Okay. So this particular conversion of solid to gas is called sublimation. Sublimation. So how it is possible? Sublimation, how it is possible? Okay. Generally the ice converted to the liquid, this is the general phenomena we can see, that is melting. But the conversion of solid to the gas, whether it is possible? Yes, it is possible if you dry or if you keep this solid below triple point condition, right? So this is the triple point. So this is the triple point of water diagram, triple point of water, right? That means triple means three conditions. At this particular point, that is nothing but a 0.01 degree centigrade, 4.5 milliliter. At particular this temperature and pressure, water can exist in the form of solid, liquid as well as gas, right? So if you will keep this solid inside the lyophilizer, so one equipment is there, that is nothing but a lyophilizer or freeze dryer. We can call it as freeze dryer. So if you will keep this solid inside this lyophilizer or a freeze dryer, so you will get this kind of condition. You can get a 4.5 milliliter and you can get a 0.01 degrees temperature. If you maintain the conditions below this temperature as well as pressure, the solid which is directly converted to the, now solid directly converted to the gas, right? So the conversion of solid to the gas, we can call it as a sublimation. So the major principle in the freeze drying is nothing but a sublimation. So many times they asked in the examination. Sublimation is when it is possible below triple point condition, solid can convert it to the gas inside the freeze dryer or lyophilizer. And if you see above the triple point, solid can convert it to the liquid. This is nothing but what? This is melting. So melting, it should not happen in the lyophilizer. In the lyophilizer, we can maintain these conditions, this particular pressure and this particular temperature. Below this, the solid can convert it to the gas. This is nothing but the sublimations. Okay. So why we are calling it is freeze dryer? In the lyophilization or freeze drying, there are two steps are there. The first step, we need to freeze the material, freezing, and the next step is nothing but a drying, right? First you are freezing and then you are drying. That's why we can call it as a freeze dryer, freezing and then dryer. In the freezing, we will get this kind of a solid structure, ice along with the drug substance entrapped in the ice. Our drug substance will entrapped inside the ice like this. The liquid formulation, it is converted to this kind of formulation, right? From this, the solid slowly evaporate as a gas. So now only powder will remain. Inside the glass. So now the liquid is converted to the powder in the lyophilizer. Because of this freeze drying process, the principle is sublimation. And this freeze drying is also used for the drying of proteins, biological products as well as blood products. So many times they asked in the examination, what is the principle of freeze drying? Sublimation. Okay. And the blood products and biological products, proteins are dried by freeze drying. Okay. And when it is possible, the sublimation below triple point condition. And triple point condition is what? The pressure is 4.5 milliliter as well as temperature 0.01 degrees centigrade.